What Oh, Johnsy, you are my
Hey,
spirit animal.
it's the fourth weekend, man.
It's the hey, happy fourth weekend, everybody, and it's not a weekend. I'm trying to wait for the music. I tried to play some bootleg music here to get going. Well, there it was, but all right. Before we get started here, hey, the Mirror and the Reaper by Volbeat. Let's go. I feel
Okay,
like
here we go.
it's been a week, man. I need some rock and roll. I need to blow the carbon out. So let's go. Let's
I
get
hear
after
you.
it here,
I
folks.
hear you.
Get after it. We're gonna blow some carbon out here on the Dude Network. We're rocking a little bit different tonight. Doobie's had life happen. Nombre and storms have affected South Texas, and he's an electrician, so he's kind of out of commission. And I think he's without power.
He's a power lineman.
Yeah, Bo, unfortunately, is not going to be with us here tonight. There was a family emergency that's preventing him from making it. So T's and P's out to Bo the Goat. But we're really excited for our guest, Wishing Well Barbecue, Dustin Wells. He is an amazing entertainer in the barbecue community, and he's not a bad barbecue chef. I'm going to throw a little dig at him there. He's smiling. I can see him, but no one else can. So that's what's nice, Dustin, is like, I can see you and I can make fun of you and watch your facial expressions, but I'm the only one that knows. So that's funny. Sucks to suck. Tonight, our sponsor tonight. Well, but seriously, real excited to have him on here. Really looking forward to it. We're going to try to get him on at the end of the month. So we just moved him up a couple of weeks, and luckily he was flexible enough and burned a lot of bridges there at the house, and he'll sleep in the doghouse tonight. But hey, he gets to hang out with us tonight. So that's what's really cool about all that. So without further ado, let's rock out to some music while we go through tonight's sponsors, as always, here on the Weekend Kickoff Party on the Dude Network. Woo! Woo! Let's go, Johnsy.
Yes, sir. Friday, 3-day weekend.
Brixton Family Farms.
Brixton Family Farms.
I got a beef shank roast I need to cook of theirs. It's going to be really good. And I'm definitely doing a shot of Cleveland whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Until we meet again. Meet again, Inc. Let's go. Best steak tips out there. I'm telling you, people sit there and want to talk trash on steak tips. Wait until you try their steak tips. Unbelievable. And the wings I made on Monday, those are Meet Again wings. They were the size of Texas. Shout out to Nombre. And the official jerky is the Pegasus Jerky Company here. You know, Dude Network jerky just goes hand in hand. That's what we do.
Of course.
Love them. All right. Everyone's like, Jesus Christ, turn off that music. That was aggressive. But it's my show. I get to pick the music. What can I say?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's the thing is it's our party too.
Yeah, it's definitely my party. I listen to Disney Plus, and like if I have to hear Future the Weekend one more time today, I think I might just chug every single beer all at once and just go into oblivion. But Johnsy, man, dude, we got a new sponsor here tonight, and we're also going to talk about Dustin's. He's got competition rub out and sauce. Yes. We're definitely going to give him a chance to plug it. Yeah, I'm assuming it's fantastic because he wins trophies. He kind of look, I can see it. Hey, yeah, don't drop him. Looks like that one's glass. Don't drop it. We need that proper in a couple of minutes. But so we're going to give him a chance to talk about his seasonings, like his profile. He's out of Kentucky, which is new to us. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
That's real exciting. And, but we also have a new partner, and that's been someone that's been hooking up this week. Let's talk about Willow Seasonings for.
Oh, dude, I was hoping we could.
I mean, dude.
Can we though? It's so good.
I did the Memphis ribs today.
I haven't. I found a 3-pack of baby backs, and they're getting the Memphis. So
yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I did no sauce, no wrap. Let the season and do
my style, no wrap. Beautiful.
Yeah. I know that's what I'm also excited about, Dustin, because he tackles all those gray area barbecue stuff.
Yeah.
Throws out the spotlight. I want to challenge you. Let's start some stuff. I like it. So we'll get into some of that too with him. But also, man, hey, Johnsy, I know yours is gone, but mine ain't yet.
Oh, dude. Oh, hey, so everybody watching, if you haven't not tried that Sweet Thing barbecue sauce, I literally opened it here, and that was the end of it. Done. Yep. Done deal. Tony,
Yeah.
what's up?
Yeah, Tone and Willow, what up?
Willow,
Hey,
what's
everyone, I put on there the 2022 22% off sale. That goes through midnight tonight, so you literally have a few hours left. So if you do
Stephen
want to try
Bale,
the
what's
Willow
up?
seasonings and blends, and also we're going to hopefully everybody wants to try some Wishing Wells product as well. But the Willow is through midnight tonight. 22% off. Thank you, Willow, for sending everyone here on the Dude Network, literally the whole lineup to have a damn good time with. And we're taking
unbelievable. Thank
advantage
you
of that.
so much.
Yeah. So, John,
hey, real quick before we move on, I did a ribeye with the what up, Steven? A ribeye with that feisty lime.
Yeah, interesting on that.
Dude.
Lime and ribeye, I would have never thought.
Look, so I did it really, really light, like flipped it, real, not a lot, but it was, I don't know. And then I finished it, sliced it, and sprinkled a little bit on right before I ate it. It was really good. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I still have everything like sitting here right in front of me, so I don't normally have props readily available, but tonight I do. So.
And I want to get back to that sauce real quick because it's super vinegary. It's got the sweet barbecue sauce flavor and it's thick. It's like every sauce combined into one and it's delicious. Go get some.
Yeah, absolutely.
WillowSeasoning.com.
Yeah, the Sweet Heat though won the American Royal seasoning of the year actually. So that was a massive
it's the best seasoning on the market, literally.
Yeah, and Tony says the Grill Life. This SPG is amazing on everything. I like that it's got chipotle powder in it. It's got a little kick to it. Most SPGs are just SPG. He's like, I want to throw a little ting ting in there. So
I'm really excited about that one. I haven't tried it yet though.
Yeah, but I was going real quick back on the feisty lime. I was saying like Doobie, I was like, I've never done that of you. And he was like, well, it's no different than like carne asada where they soak it in lime juice before marinate it in lime juice. And I was like, that makes sense. I was like, so good for you, man. I like that because now I got to try it. So look at you. Hey, inspiring people. Look at you, John Z, just making moves out there in the social media.
No, I'm just a guy out in California doing my thing. You know what I mean?
You're the guy from Turlock. Just say you're from Turlock, man. Like
I should. Yeah, I'm from Turlock.
Because you disassociated yourself with the rest of the state a long time ago. So at this point, just be like, I'm from Turlock.
I'm from Turlock.
What state's that in?
Turlock. My yard is just like this separate entity from the whole state, where I have this little safe zone.
Oh, I am doing the tri-tip with the feisty lime this weekend, Willow says. Okay, let's
guaranteed that's going to be a good one. I guarantee that'll be good.
It's going to be phenomenal. But yeah, it's real, dude. We're so happy to have him involved, and it's been a hit. You hate it when people let you try stuff, and it sucks ass,
dude. And yeah, I would have talked about this if I didn't get more free stuff because if he didn't send us more stuff,
buy it. We're ready to.
Yeah, exactly. I was ready to
take our money.
Yes, I did. I bought two. I ordered 2 more barbecue sauces yesterday, I believe. Because
I think I want to see, and I will need to get more too. So I guess see what you and Doobie left me. It might be one like left in stock at this point.
Oh, he said right here, the barbecue sauce is on back order, but if they order today, they will get the sale price. There it is, right there.
Oh, well.
It might take you a little bit because he's got to make it. These are small batch deliciousness, folks. So, but he's telling you right now, if you order now, you get that the discount.
All right. Well, I think Willow. Thanks. That's your love for the night. That was awesome. Well deserved. Yes, sir. Dude, hey Loot. What up, Loot? So I did not 1.
What?
Not 2.
What?
Not 3.
What?
But 4 big old fat daddy pork butts today.
Let's go.
Just smacking them. And I did a rack of ribs for lunch just because I started. I started at 7. Let's just sneak a rack of baby backs on there so I can get
the grill's already lit.
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Hey, it don't matter what you cook on, but a real barbecuer never waste a square inch.
Never waste a cooking moment. Exactly.
Yep. Actually, if anything, you wait for everything to shrink up and then you throw something else on.
More in. I have actually done that. Done that.
It's like I am 1 hour away from a block of smoked cream cheese. Let's go.
Yeah. But now I got an offset, a pellet, and the Weber, and working on getting myself a little built open fire. So it's like now I just like fire up another grill when I'm feeling feisty. So
I love it. You know what I love about open fire? You can rig up like 4 cinder blocks with spaces just filled up with charcoal, put a grate over it, and voila, we're cooking on the fire, baby.
Guilty.
Actually, the next time I do an open fire cook, I want to show everybody my apparatus that I use. Like, it literally is counterweighted and balanced, like wedged up on there, and I use the old grate to pin down the backside so it don't topple over into the ashes.
Beautiful.
No, that's just how we do.
What sucks, man, is like now I got this page and we're doing all this stuff, and it's like, dude, if I would have filmed all the cooks I've done in cast iron the last 5 years of camping over open fire, like it's
right.
It's like this is like what I've been doing. This is how I live. I love cooking like this. So
oh yeah, no, absolutely. Oh no, the white hey, stop. No, stop, lock it up. Oh man, the wife's home from the flea market. Oh man, hey,
let's go. Just roll with
Dustin,
it.
Dustin, we're getting you on here in a second, man. But yeah, my wife got home. The dogs are barking and going nuts, and I got a hound dog, and she's just letting her rip from the hollers.
Well, it's good we don't have our guest on during all this shenanigans.
So whoever doesn't know, like, I want people to watch some of his videos here because these are awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hey, man, thanks for inviting me over. What in the world are you doing? Hey, just about to fire up the smoker. I had some limbs from my pine tree fall out back and figured I'd just cook with it. Oh, you can't use wood from a pine tree. And what are you doing with those leaves? Fire starters? Hey, honey, we gotta go. We gotta get out of here.
Dude, I've never been to a party like that, but I don't want to be.
I love these videos he puts out, man.
So without further ado, the dude himself, the man, the myth, the legend, the competition brisket slinger, the purest pork puller.
Ooh,
I'm getting good at this.
Yeah, you really are.
He is the sauce sensei. Ooh, the sauce sensei.
Okay.
He is
a
sensational seasoner with the master of seasonings. We're going downhill.
Yeah, we should.
When tornadoes came through Kentucky and wiped half of what was left of it off the face of the earth, he pulled out his barbecue and he made a difference. He raised thousands and thousands of dollars in tornado relief. And actually, the school that he worked at, I don't know if they got a new one by now, but I believe that one got wiped off the face of the planet. My wife is home. She looks beautiful. Dudes and dudettes snuck it in there. Brownie points for Tony Lane. But while we're all here, Dustin, wishing well.
Woo! How's it going?
What's up, dude?
Welcome, man.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
Man. It's not as good as you with that beautiful sunset in the background there.
Right?
This is prime country Kentucky living. Let me see. I can move my camera here and just... There's my son's little car, but
yeah, we got the green version. I feel you.
Okay, here's the deal. After this, I get no more crap for living in California. Look at that sunset, man.
Yeah. What do you get? Why do we give you crap for the sunset?
Because it's always dark and it's always light here and blah 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 blah.
Johnsy, you were so easily offended tonight. I don't know if I like.
I am not offended.
I can feel the sensitivity just glaring.
Oh man.
Who is?
Dustin.
Yes.
Your videos are awesome, man.
Well, thanks, man. Absolutely. I really appreciate that.
They really are. They really are.
I really enjoy making those videos. And when I first kind of got into TikTok and the other social medias, you see recipe after recipe after recipe, and they're great. And I love recipes, and I do a lot of recipe videos. And on my YouTube channel, that's pretty much all I do is recipe videos. But I kind of was like, there's not really any funny barbecue videos happening. So I did a little bit of brainstorming and tried to come up with some things. And, you know, I don't know if y'all are members on Facebook of any of the smoking meat pages or the barbecue pages, but there are people that post stuff on there all the time that just, they do things and you just, or you're kind of like, oh man, that is the most beginner move. And the funny thing is, we've all done it because I have so many things that I used to do when I first got started that I'm like, what in the world made me think that was a good idea? So, but so I kind of did a little playing off that with my beginning pitmaster, and then the Earl series is really good.
We have one of those. We got meet Earl. Can we people meet Earl?
Oh yeah. Oh man, I don't have my hat with me right now, but
no, no, wrong one. Shit.
What you say there, old Dustin?
Hey Earl, not much. Just cleaning out my smoker.
Cleaning it? No, sir. That's a well-seasoned smoker. That's where all your flavor's coming from.
Yeah, it's rancid fat and grease, and it's gonna sit there and mold. That is not good for your barbecue.
I said, don't clean that smoker.
The funny thing is, when I filmed that video at the very end, I was like, I want to throw the shovel. But I had another Earl video where I was trimming something with a knife, and at the very end of it, I take the knife and I just go like that and threw it behind me. And TikTok actually banned me for 3 days because I had unsafe material or whatever. Like,
oh my god!
Yeah, and all I did was get this knife and just throw it behind me. So I whenever I shot that video, I was like, I don't know if I should throw this shovel. And then I basically just said, screw it. I'm going to do it anyway and see what happens. And they didn't take it down. So, but yeah, that's Earl.
Hey, that's Earl.
No, sir.
Earl. I actually had, I don't, he may not be on this, but I actually had somebody put in a barbecue sauce order, and the person that it was going to, it said Earl's House of Smoke. And they messaged me on Instagram and said, hey, that's me, by the way. He's a huge fan of Earl, so
that's awesome. So is Earl a real person in life? And B, which side of the family, your mom's or dad's, is he from?
Actually, Earl is kind of an encapsulation of a lot of old-timey pitmasters that I see around here in Kentucky. There's a lot of, and probably everywhere, there's always that old-timey pitmaster who doesn't season their meat. The smoke does all the work. You know, they don't trim anything. They throw it on there and just let it ride. Or they're just more old school. You know, they're not doing things differently. So, it just really encapsulates those kind of people. And so I just thought it was kind of a fun play on that.
It sounds a lot like Myron.
Yeah, just very old school, like just a very old school kind of, who's not gonna change. They're not gonna change anything.
No,
they're not necessarily willing to learn about different techniques and when to use certain techniques and when not to. They're just, nope, I'm going to do it this way because that's the way my grandpappy taught me,
Yep. Myron.
There's just so many people that are like that around here. So I kind of poked the bear and poked fun at it. And there's a couple of things on those Earl videos that people will comment and be like, oh no, that he's right. Earl's right. You don't need to trim a brisket at all.
Let's go.
And I'm like, I don't know, so
no.
it's just fun.
Oh, it really is.
Dude.
I'm And like we're on a show now. This is how far our shows come. We can actually pick on Myron Mixon on a personal level and associate him with people like Earl.
That's
and
awesome.
we can tell him to his face because he took Doobie down pretty hard that night.
Oh man,
Doobie's still recovering from that one. Doobie and him got into the whole fat cap up down, and like it was Doobie who's like Mr. Cool, Calm, Collected versus Myron, who's not, and it was bad.
And you were talking earlier about the gray areas of things. You know, that's so right. There's so much gray area in barbecue where it's like, well, you know, like fat up, fat down. There's no real right or wrong answer. It's really just dependent on your cooker, because like on my 500-gallon offset, I'm cooking fat side up because the heat is going up and over the meat and then coming back down to that smokestack and coming out. But if I'm cooking on my Bronco drum smoker, the heat is right under, you know, so that heat's going straight up to the meat. So yeah, then I want to cook fat side down to protect that meat. So, you know, there's really no right or wrong answer, and people get real butthurt about. Man,
I see what you did there.
People get in their feelings about these little things, you know, and it's like, you know, it just depends. Everything depends. So,
yeah, and that's exactly that was the point that he was trying to make to Myron. Yeah. He's like, well, when I'm cooking in my offset, he goes, and it goes up over, then yeah, he goes, it would really just depend on the way it is. And he's like, nope.
Yeah, it was just a chop.
Yeah. Hey, you know what though? I might, and you guys know, but anybody that hasn't seen my stuff, I'm a pretty avid stick burner. I do not own any pellet smokers. I've cooked on them, but I just don't own any. I love the process of barbecue, so I'm a stick burner. But you know, hey, you do you. Everybody is different. Everybody has different preferences, and you know, if you only have time to, you know, plug up your your pellet smoker.
Oh no, say it. Easy bake oven. Man. I got one.
Hey, John did that with 5 of them. Hey, way to go, Dustin. Way to go, Earl. Way to go, Earl. Dustin's Earl. Earl Wells down here.
I love that. I love just poking at my pellet friends. But anyway, you know, if that's what you have time for, to plug in your pellet smoker, that's great. If you have time to run your offset and stay up and full with it, do it. You know, that's the best part about barbecue.
Right. I'm all about what you do with the protein. I don't care how you get there, but like anybody can make a pulled pork, you know. I mean, not just anybody, you know what I mean, but like what cool recipes can you make, you know, with your stuff. And I feel like that is like where, at least that's where in my profiles here, it's like, yeah, I'll do the cheap content of open my smoker with just racks and racks and racks and racks of ribs, but sometimes I like taking like that pulled pork and making a scratch pizza dough and doing like an epic barbecue pizza, man.
For sure.
Or like stuff them in rolls and make like calzones and stuff. Like, you know, that's the stuff for, you know, that to me, that's what it's all barbecue and all that other good stuff.
Yeah. It's so important to just, you know, you do you. And like, how am I to sit here and judge your barbecue on social media? Yeah, I've never tasted it.
Yes.
You know, and like I said, my friends that do have pellet smokers, and especially the ones that know me really well, you know, I always kind of poke the bear a little bit. Yeah. But I think pellet smokers are really great because I think it has opened the door for a lot more people to actually do barbecue. I think if we didn't have any pellet smokers, I think a lot of people wouldn't take the time to learn how to cook on an offset, or they would say, I don't have time to do fire management, you know. And I think a lot of people would miss out on actually having barbecue.
Yeah. I know I come from the auto industry. You work 6 days a week, 60, 70 hours. Like you can't, like you literally, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I exactly, you know, and I get exactly what you mean. Like at the end of the day, like barbecue to me is all about getting around a fire and having a good time with your buddies, or any kind of fire, a pellet or whatever, if you're sitting around with friends eating smoked flavored meat over some beers or a cold glass of sweet tea or whatever, to me that's barbecue. And I feel a lot, and I don't know how much of the show you've watched, but that's always been my platform. I feel like the meaning of barbecue has been diminished because there's like, your purist who are like, you're like 1%, like staunch, like it's got to be this way. Your Earls, your Earls.
The Earls, yeah.
Yeah, and but then you got like, and no offense to the Traeger people, but there are people that think like Traeger's like the only way to go. There's the offsets that like if you have just a commercial brand, then you're not really smoking until you have like a big old 500 gallon. Like barbecue is what you make of it and what you have time for and what time allows you to have.
And that's what barbecue is all about, is about coming together to eat meat. I don't care. Like, I mean, there is a difference in flavor and different profiles and all that on the different smokers. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, I've cooked on, offsets. I've cooked on Weber's. I've cooked on drums, pellet smokers. In my opinion, based on what I like, none of it cooks better barbecue than my 500-gallon offset. It just makes the best barbecue that I make, in my opinion. Does that mean that somebody with a Traeger can't make better barbecue than me? Absolutely not. I mean, but the whole thing is, you do you, whatever is going to get you making barbecue, having a good time, and enjoying yourself, and getting a reward of smoked meat at the end. Yep. That's the way you go. So I'm saying it right now, so all my pellet people know I don't hate you. I just like to poke fun.
Yeah. What are you sipping there, Dustin? Some Kentucky moonshine?
No, I'm just some water. It's hot.
Yeah.
It's too hot for some bourbon.
Hey, if you were going to have some bourbon, though, it would be Cleveland whiskey. Just saying. Thank you, Cleveland Whiskey, for being a proud partner of the show.
Sugar maple, or
Cleveland Whiskey. Series. Send me some so I can review it.
Yeah. Hey, where at in Kentucky are you? How close How close are you to Frankfort?
I'm like 4 or 5 hours away from Frankfort. I'm in Western Kentucky. I'm in like southern Western Kentucky. So I'm about, probably about 40 minutes away from the Tennessee state line.
Oh, okay. So you are down in God's country.
If you know where, this is the way now that I tell people where I live. If you watch the NBA, you know who Ja Morant is.
Yeah, Murray State.
That's where I went to college, and I live. Okay. Basically, I live here in Murray. So, Murray's about a 5-minute drive from my house. So, that's where I live.
Shout out to Murray, because I knew you were like in Central, and I'm like, man, Frankfort, I believe, is Eastern.
Yeah, Frankfort's like Northeastern, but I'm in Western Kentucky.
Gotcha. Well, we won't hold that against you. Johnsy will, but he's biased towards a lot of stuff.
That's all right. It's fine. I make fun of Kentucky too, so it's okay.
That's all right. Kentucky's that poor Kentucky. Like, if there's any state that's out in the sticks, it's like I was in Pennsylvania, like in North Central, and they're like, oh, Pennsyltucky, or there's one close to me, it's like Carrolltucky, instead of Carrollton. So
Eastern Kentucky is where you really get into the sticks, though.
Hey, and those are my people, man, down there in the coal fields down there. Go, hey,
oh yeah,
rise up, Harlan, let's go.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey, Willow Seasonings had a good question. So, should I clean my grill every 5 years?
I hope.
I go every 10.
Yeah, maybe 7 or 8 is best.
Yeah.
Actually,
no, sir.
No, sir. You don't clean that there smoker. You let that flavor do all the work.
Yeah.
No,
all that flavor.
If I'm being honest though, you need to clean your grill pretty frequently. I mean, people don't clean their grills enough, and I have actually seen people and talked to people who they're like, oh, let me show you my smoker, and it's just disgusting. There's rancid fat in there, like half molded over, and I'm like, yo, you need to clean the smoker out, and they're They're like, oh no, this has been 6 years in the making. This is all that seasoning in here. And I'm like, I am not eating. I'm calling McDonald's right now because that's what I'm picking up because
I don't know
I'm
what
not eating
Uber
this
will bring me.
molded barbecue. Like you've got to really be careful because especially if the humidity is really high where you live, man, that nice fat dripping that you think is so much flavor and it's going to heat up and just make your meat so juicy and flavorful. No, it's just going to mold over and then you're going to be cooking molds. Like you wouldn't cook something in the oven if it had a bunch of mold in it. So,
All right.
Clean your pits.
Yes. Yeah.
Clean your pits.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting. All you're doing is asking for one little flame to jump up there, light that grease on fire, and that's a wrap. You'll end up.
Oh man! And how many videos have you seen of people with pellet smokers just going out there and it is just lit because they didn't clean it out.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, and those pellet smokers recommend you clean them every like 2 or 3 cooks.
Yeah, I clean mine probably every 3 to 6, depending on how long or whatever, you know.
And what you do.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing this weekend, he says.
Yeah. You know, if you cook like chicken breast or something like that, you're not going to get a bunch of drippings from that.
Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
But if you're doing like pork butts and briskets and ribs or, you know, anything real fatty, you need to definitely clean it out more frequently.
Yeah, and
salmon, you're probably not going to get any drippings from, you know, things like that. But yeah.
Right. So, you're a comp guy. Dustin. That
was very bright. Okay.
You just looked like you were lighting up a doobie. I ain't gonna lie.
Sorry, I was just taking a picture of him real quick to remember this moment.
Showtime. But so comp guy, like how many comps do you do in a year down there? And have you won any? Like what's the biggest one?
Yeah, so I did a lot of, I guess you would say, local competitions. And so before COVID, I was doing like, you know, 4 or 5 a year, kind of traveling around doing that. And then once COVID happened, you know, competitions like pretty much stopped. And some of them that I usually go to, they have not started back up still. And I'm not really sure why, but you know, we've got somebody on a motorcycle coming by.
Good. Intense.
Anyway, so once that, you know, kind of started happening, and now we've got 2 kids, and my catering business has really blown up too. And it seems like every time I'm looking at the market or the circuit, I'm like, oh, there's a good competition. And I look at the date, and then I look at my calendar, and I'm like, oh, man, I've either got some kind of school thing going on, or I've got a catering gig or something like that. So I'm like, well, I could cancel this catering gig this far in advance, but I don't want to lose out on that money, you know. So
I mean, at the end of the day, you're just a teacher. Teachers, you're not a teacher in the United States if you don't work 3 other jobs to make ends meet. Am I
right? Basically, yeah, that's about right.
My mom's a teacher, so.
Chad Vaughn, are you a true pit master if you haven't rolled a huge grease fire at least once? That means I am not a pit master because that has luckily not happened.
Yeah, dang, Chad, why'd you have to do? I thought I was.
I don't think I've had that happen either.
All right, well, we're not pit masters yet.
Yep, I haven't earned it yet. But
we love Chad. We know that was him just being funny.
But yeah, when you know, doing competitions, I've won several trophies doing that. My very first, I'll tell you, my very first competition ever was in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and there were, it was pretty small. There was like 15 teams, and I knew one of the other people competing in the contest, and it was a rib contest. It was real simple, just a rib contest. It was the first time they had held this event, and someone asked me if I would go, and I said, yeah, sure. And I left that morning because judging was at like 6 o'clock at night. So I left that morning to drive there. It's about a 2-hour drive. And on the way there, I get a flat tire. And so I'm just like, oh man. So I had to deal with all of that and got the spare, did all that. And I went there and everybody had already had their smoker set up. They already had their ribs on, everything. It was like 5 hours until turn in when I finally got there. And I mean, I know cooking a rack of ribs, you need, at least probably 5 to 6 good hours. So I was trying to get my smoker going, get my ribs seasoned and trimmed and everything else. So I got them on and, all this. And then one of the guys, the one that I knew, came over, and it was about 10 minutes until turn in time. And I was slicing my ribs and, doing all that. And he came over and said, hey man, he's like, let me try one of your ribs. And I said, okay. And so I gave him an end piece and he tried it and he just goes, oh shit. And I said, what? And he said, I just freaking lost. He said, this is amazing. It's phenomenal. And he's like, there's no way you didn't win this. And sure enough, announcements came up and I won first place, and I was late. And so I got a trophy there. And so that was a good time. That was my first competition and I won it. So
I would have left. I would have been like, yep, that's the last one I'm ever doing one of those.
There was one guy that was kind of butthurt because he was kind of arrogant. The way you could tell that he was very much one of those people who's like, my barbecue is better than everyone's, Yeah. And he was real upset about it, apparently. But sorry.
Well, I think that's the nature of the beast, though. With just like anytime men compete in something, like there's just going to be immediate butt hurt, even if it's to their best homie.
And and like you think about competitions and like KCBS and stuff, like some of those guys cook 12, 14, 15 comps a year, and their barbecue is phenomenal. And then they go to a contest and get 17th out of 28. It just happens. I mean, Myron Mixon has not won every single contest he's ever gone to ever. I mean, there's been some that he's lost, and people look up to Malcolm Reed with How to Barbecue Right all the time. But man, there's been several times that he's gone to competitions and hasn't even placed, and his stuff is good. Right. So, it's very, it's not something that's very black and white. It's again, a gray area. So no matter what you do in competition, you can go and cook the exact same rack of ribs and get first place, and then go back the next year and do the exact same thing and get 15th place. I mean, you just never know. So, but they're exciting and they're super fun to do. You meet up with a lot of people that are interested in the same things you do. And that's what I love about competitions too. It's just being around people that have that similar interest to me.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because I met, a couple guys that were right beside me. They ended up being from the next town over from me. I never met the people. And I live in Ohio version of where you're from. Like, we graduate with like 80 kids in our school. I mean, but so you think everybody, and you're down there, and these guys are like one town over, and they're like, hey, what's up? And it's like you get new buddies, like, and now
for sure.
We're going to do meet up and cook and all that other good stuff. So
yeah, for sure.
They're fine. Yeah, the kids are up and running wild, so apologize in advance if we get some incidentals, but there's a storm rolling in. We got a storm coming.
Oh, man.
Jealous.
Like Garth Brooks would sing, the thunder rolls. Sorry.
Storms have definitely hit different around here this last year.
Yeah, that part is very true.
So, yeah, man, let's talk about that, because, that's honestly how I met Wishing Well Barbecue, because when you did that thing and you were like doing the fundraiser, walk us through like what happened. Like the tornado was really bad, but like tell everyone, like walk everyone through the series of events of what happened and then what you did at the end of that to help that situation.
For sure. So on December 10th of this last year, we kind of knew there were going to be some storms, and you know how the news is a lot of times. They're like, oh, a big storm's coming. And around here in Kentucky, we're like, okay, usually I'm sitting out on my front porch watching it and whatever. Well, you could tell that something was seemed a little bit different on this one. And basically, as the night progressed, they kept saying, "Hey, this is really going to be bad. Like, this has potential to be bad." So we're watching the news, and this tornado starts in like Arkansas, and they're on the news and they're saying, "Hey, this is like an EF4, and this is bad," and they're basically just, me and my wife and my 3-year-old are inside, and my wife was 9 months pregnant too at the time, and they were like saying things along the lines of, "You have to get to shelter right now, because if not, you're going to die." And they were saying that on the news. And we knew, like, okay, they wouldn't say something like this if, well, anyway, as the night progressed, they kept saying, Kirksey, 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 which is where I live. I live in Kirksey. And they kept saying, it's going to be there, that it's going to go through there, and I had our pantry cleaned out and had a table set up in there so we could be under the table. And, my wife was real upset, and my 3-year-old was upset, scared. And man, it was just bad. Well, eventually they had changed the path of it about 30 minutes before it hit. But I teach in the next county over. I'm an elementary music teacher, and it hit that county and destroyed Mayfield, Kentucky. I mean, like, leveled it. And we were very fortunate. The town that I teach in is not in Mayfield, but it's in the same county. It's like the next little city over. And basically, for my school, we had about 24 kids whose homes were completely destroyed. None of our students were killed, thankfully. We did have one student whose stepdad was killed, and we had a student whose mom died like 2 weeks later afterwards. And she was also pregnant. So it was, oh man, that was a hard funeral to go to. But anyway, of course, all the teachers were at the school like the next day, trying to figure out what students were okay, trying to just really figure all of that out. And I was talking to another teacher that's also a social media person. And I said, I feel like I need to do something. Like, I don't know if I set up a GoFundMe, and I don't know if I should really say this online, but we received an email that said no teachers are to do GoFundMes. They're supposed to direct people to the school's donation center. And I talked to my principal about it, and I said, "Hey, Dustin Wells, the music teacher, doesn't have to do one, but Wishing Well Barbecue can do one." And he said, "Yeah, that's your business." He said, "That's a separate business, a separate entity. Go for it." And, when I went to make the GoFundMe, I had to set a goal. And I was talking to that teacher friend, and she said, "Well, just shoot for the moon." And I was like, okay. So I set the goal for 10,000. And I really honestly thought, I might get a couple $100 here and there, to do this. But, man, the barbecue community stepped up and shared it. I actually had a couple of NFL players share it, which was really big. And in a few weeks, we raised $10,000. So that money went directly to my school's resource center. Awesome. And when I told our resource teacher that, I said, "Hey, I've got a check for $10,100 whatever dollars for you," she was like, "Are you serious?" Like, it was a big deal. So it was so cool to see the barbecue community come together to help my students. And where I teach is a pretty low socioeconomic area. So we're talking like 70% of our students live on or below the poverty line. So, I mean, I see kids all day long that I don't know if they're going to eat that afternoon. I don't know what they're going home to. I mean, it's such a hard thing, and especially at the elementary level, because they're so helpless.
Yeah.
So it was really great to be able to do that for our resource center, and man, it was a great feeling.
Dude, that's awesome, man. That's definitely one of the cooler saddest but cooler stories that we've had on here.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
amazing.
And that really reached a lot of people. Like my wife doesn't have social media, and she's not on any barbecue community stuff. And when I told her that we were interviewing that you were going to be on the show and who you were and about that, she goes, "Oh yeah, I remember hearing all about that." So you reached like way beyond.
It had quite a bit of reach. So it was really amazing. Like I said, a couple NFL players shared it, and it just really reached a lot of people, and it was so cool. It was so cool to see everybody come together for my school. And
absolutely,
it was super fun.
You put on for your city. Put on. I
put on for my city. Yeah,
I was definitely jamming out. Hey, full disclosure, I had a 6.5 hour drive each way to where I had to go this week for work. Young Jeezy definitely made an appearance on that trip. So.
Oh yeah,
that's why it was on there. Because you get tired, like, man, I don't know what I can listen to, and I was just like. Rap songs of the 2000s, like, oh yeah, like perfect.
Definitely.
Yeah, I need to go back to punk rock and
the more as an adult I become, the more I realized how much I related to punk in high school and why I actually liked punk rock.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, the 40, like when there's songs called the 40-hour week, and I'm like, okay, I totally get it. Hey, Dustin, I know you're getting like darker and darker there as the sun goes down. So I don't want to miss out on the opportunity for people to get a good look at your seasonings and sauces that you have out.
Oh, yes.
And we actually, if you didn't see on the ticker, we put the link to your website down here for you.
Yes.
So
I did see that. I have a light that I'm going to set up here in a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Let's because I know. Yeah. Let's
Awesome.
All right.
Oh, hey, my 3-year-old has arrived.
Yeah, mine are back here in the back too. There we go. All right. What's up, dude? What's up, dude? High five. Can you give high fives?
He got a chocolate ice cream.
Dude, you got sugar? That is awesome.
Sugar ice cream.
Yeah, sugar ice cream. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, go inside and eat it.
He's about to be chocolate wasted.
For sure. Go inside and eat it, Jet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so let me show you that real quick. So I've got my competition style rub.
Okay. Now break that down. How would you describe the flavor profile of this?
Definitely the perfect combination of salt, sweet, and heat. There's when you taste this, you get the saltiness, which is good for meat, but it's not too salty, if that makes sense. But it's one thing that a lot of people say when they taste it, they're like, oh, this is nice and sweet. And then all of a sudden, just a little bit of almost like you ate something hot, but you don't really know what it was, but it's not spicy. It has a little bit of cayenne pepper in it, just enough to kind of off balance some of that sweetness. It's just a really great all around barbecue seasoning.
Hey,
has a great color. You can't really see it, but if you go to my Instagram or any of my stuff and look at that color, that's from this competition style rub.
Yeah, that stuff looks real good, man.
It is so good. It's not
like sweet heat. I mean, that's where I'm at though. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a good salty sweet heat. You know, I see in competitions a lot of time, and the reason it got its name, competition style. You know, you see so many people doing competitions and they're using 5 different rubs and layering. And this is a seasoning that I developed, long before I started selling it. And I said, I don't want to have to go buy 8 seasonings for 1 rack of ribs. I want to have a seasoning that I just put this on there and it covers all of my bases. And that's where it got its name, competition style rub. This is what I use in competition. It's won several trophies, and so that's just where it got its name.
Argue with that.
Yeah. I also have my Texas Cowboy rub.
Well, everything's better if it's got Texas on it. Ask Nombre.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Mount.
so it's
Shout out
my
Mount
Texas Cowboy rub, and
Except
it's
for the
like
power.
it's like a beefed up SPG. So, of course, it has salt, pepper, garlic in it, the typical things you would want in a like a base seasoning. But it's got a couple of other things in it that that give it a little kicker. Not spicy, but just some really good herb flavors. Man, I've got some people who buy this in bulk. They use it on briskets. That's what I use it on, briskets. I really, it's just a great all-purpose seasoning. It's really it's really coarse as well. It's not a very fine. So you've got like minced garlic in it. So it's not just like a powdery mixture. It's really, and I'm losing a little bit of light, but maybe you can kind of see that it's more coarse.
Oh yeah, you can see it.
So
There she is.
just a really great all around seasoning.
Yeah.
So, and then of
So,
course I have
hey,
my house
Matt,
barbecue sauce.
Oh, I've been wanting to ask about this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. It comes in, whenever I was doing the packaging for this, I've always liked the rustic feel of the glass mason jar. So I knew I wanted to do that. I talked to a bunch of people about it, and they said it's too expensive. It's too expensive. You're going to have a lot of cost in on all those mason jars. But I knew that I wanted that. That's the design that I really wanted for it. And the best part about this is when you finish your sauce bottle, don't throw this away.
No.
You have a glass mason jar that if you make your own sauce, you can put in. A lot of people I see will be drinking beers out of it, or they'll use it as a drinking glass. So, and it,
I'm that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many glasses in there that I'll use for drinking glasses. Even if I just need a quick drink of water, I'll just grab the mason jar out of the moonshine. Yeah, if you put some moonshine in there, yeah, for sure. But I love it. I love the design. I love the glass mason jar. It even has on this side, it has how much, like quarter cup, half cup.
That's really nice.
And it even says on here, it says Mason at the top because they're true mason jars. So I love the visual effect of that. It gives it that rustic, homemade kind of look. And the sauce, everybody goes crazy over that sauce.
Can you describe the profile a little bit for me?
Yeah, for sure. So it's like it's not really a ketchup base or a mustard base or a vinegar base. It kind of, just like the competition style rub, it kind of brings all of those together because it does have the ketchup in there. It does have mustard, and it does have vinegar in it, as well as several spices. And I'll tell you, this actually has 14 ingredients in it. So it's definitely got a lot of flavor.
Stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks.
Yeah, it's really good. It's sweet. It's got just a touch of heat, but not really like hot. It's got a little bit of bite from the vinegar. It's got a really great color. I'm telling you, when you put this on meat and like as a glaze, man, it has a really good color. So I love this sauce. I use that for my glaze and competitions as well. So it's a big hit. I actually have about 5 other recipes that I have yet to bottle up and start selling that I'm eventually going to do that. So
yeah, that's awesome, man. We got spammed. That's pretty awesome. That's first that's happened.
Please excuse that.
So, sorry for anybody watching that. That was not part of the agenda.
Definitely not part of us.
But so, dude, the mace jar is awesome because, like me, I would take that and I would sit there and reuse it for my garden when it's time to make.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the best part about it is you can reuse it. You can use it for whatever you'd like. Don't just throw it in the trash. That's a free glass mason jar.
Yeah,
and the label
No,
and the
sir.
label on it is
No,
weatherproof.
sir.
No, sir. You don't
No,
throw
sir.
that jar
throw
Don't
away.
you throw that there mason jar away.
Don't throw
There it
that there
is.
damn mason jar away. You heard?
Yeah, but and the labels are weatherproof. So I've put it in there in the dishwasher with the label on it, and the label is just fine. It doesn't leak
That's
or
awesome.
it doesn't peel off.
That's actually a peeve of mine because, like, when you're seasoning and you're like just kind of dirty and nasty and all that, like, and you like get like a little bit of that grease on there, like it's stuck to the bottle on the label, and then when you wipe it off, like the label comes off with it, you distort it. And we're picture takers with our food. We're videographers with our food. We can't be having no dirty ass labels.
And that's another thing too. My seasoning bottles, those are weatherproof too. So if you like put your greasy hands on it, like you can wipe it off. You could
You
you
thought
could
of it
even
all.
put water on there.
Look at
Because
you, man.
we're social media people. So when we take a picture of the meat, if we used a certain seasoning, especially if it's like a paid thing or something you're trying to sponsor, you want that in your picture. And if you've got a big fingerprint right there, it doesn't, you're kind of like, oh man. But then if you like get it wet and try to wash it, then it just smears or it looks bad. And it's just not good. So I knew that I wanted labels that you could throw that mason jar in the dishwasher and it wasn't going to fade or peel off. Now I'm sure after time it would, but I don't know. There's been a couple of mason jars that I've washed probably 30 times in the dishwasher and it still looks good. So
Because they're made in America.
that's right.
That's right. Damn
They
right.
are
Oh, look at this shirt.
true to the red, white, and blue.
There we go.
Love it.
Just keeps going. Hey man, next week we're having on like a little preview for next week here. You'll actually find this interesting because the guy that we're having on is going to put the end to the age-old debate of pellet or stick burner because he has both on his. We got Cletus of Cletus.
Oh yes, yeah.
We got Gary Brock of Cletus Smokers coming on next week. I got to actually meet him this past week out in the Philadelphia area, and got to meet the Cletus, and it is amazing, man. Like, I can't wait for him to talk about it. But basically, it's got like a stick burner on one side, a pellet on the other. It's a reverse flow. And but you use the electric board temperature gauge on your cook. So when the wood drops below like your 275, it knows to kick the pellets on to take over and keep it at 275. But if it goes over 275, it releases excess heat, so it keeps it at 275. So we got that on next week. So he's just trying to bridge the gap in this big confused barbecue community. So
yeah, that'll be really cool. That'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Dustin, I can feel your vibes, man, because I got the same vibes in this house. The kids are not going down at a decent hour tonight, and it's a big weekend ahead of us, right?
Yeah, we've got I had a catering gig yesterday, and I've got one tomorrow, but it's just chickens. So, and they're coming to pick them up. So, all I have to do is smoke them. So it's all good. Yeah. So man, I tell you what, the catering business has been awesome here recently. So
good for you, man.
Yeah, it's been blowing up. So if I have any local yokels watching and you need catering, hit me up.
And you don't have to be local. Money talks. Yeah. Money talks. Money talks.
Mommy baked this baked
He wants brisket. He wants you to make it tomorrow, and he wants it done at 2:03 internal.
Hey Jet, what does Daddy cook?
Barbecue.
Barbecue. That's right.
Barbecue.
Jet loves to cook barbecue with me too. He has a grill, and anytime that I'm grilling, he has to go get his grill fired up. And the best thing is, he likes to pretend like he's on my YouTube channel, and he'll say, "Can you say my name is Jet Wells with Wishing Well Barbecue?" Yeah, and he likes to
Nailed
he
it.
likes to pretend like he's doing recipes, and it's a lot of fun. So
That's awesome.
he loves it. He's a good
Right.
one. He's gonna be when he gets older, he's gonna be the one that I'm like, all right, Jet, you can stay up all night long if you go put splits on the offset so Daddy can sleep.
Yeah.
That's
Dude.
what I'm training him to do.
Yes, sir.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm training him to do.
If you go buy a pellet, you could sleep. Just saying.
I will be honest with you. I'm an avid stick burner, but there's been a couple of times, like if I've had a catering gig and I just got out of school and I'm super tired and I know I have to stay up most of the night. There are times where I'm like, man, a good pellet smoker would be good right now, but I've come up with a pretty good method of getting some sleep when running an offset. And you have to be, I'll say what it is, but you have to be really good about, no, oh man, if I drink beer, I'll definitely be asleep. But if you have to be somebody who can wake up to your alarm, you
Yep.
can't be a snoozer. So, of course, like if I start the pit at like 7:00 at night, I've got a catering gig the next day. I see how it's running, how it's doing. And usually I can go between 30 and 40 minutes without having to do anything to it with my big offset or with my Oklahoma Joe, because I've cooked on it so much that I've learned it so well. So basically what I do is once it's about midnight or so, I say, okay, I'm going to set an alarm for every 40 minutes, or 30, depending on how it's cooking. And I'll come inside, I'll sit on the couch, I'll watch some TV. I might sleep for, 20 minutes or so. And then and then when the alarm goes off, I get up right then. I don't hit the snooze. I don't, I get up right then. I go to the offset. I put, 2 or 3 splits on there, whatever I need to do. I come back in, I lay back down, and usually I can go back to sleep, relatively quickly. And I get like sporadic 30-minute naps.
We
And
call
it
them
works
REM
for me,
cycle.
but I will say that there has been a time or two where I've accidentally hit the off button on my I've looked at my temps, because of course I monitor with my ThermoPro, and I'm like, oh, I'm
Shout
still
out.
good. I don't really need to do anything. I just need like 10 minutes, So I'll go to hit the snooze, but I'll accidentally turn it off. And then I wake up like an hour later and I'm like, oh man, my smoker's at like 190. I got to get out there. So yeah, ThermoPro. I love ThermoPros.
They sent me a couple, man, and I've had some people said like they go out all the time, but I've left mine accidentally out in the rain a couple times, and they're still working
Yeah,
on me.
I've never had any issues out of my ThermoPro. There's one brand of thermometer that they sent me. I'm not gonna say, but I will say it's a completely wireless thermometer, and they always go out on me. They never read the temps. It never connects to the Wi-Fi. I can't get an accurate reading, and so. But ThermoPro never leaves me astray. It usually works pretty good. So
North Texas Barbecue Addict says I'm using mine right now. Amen.
there you go.
There we go. Well, hey man, Dustin, I appreciate the hell out of you coming on here like last minute. I know we've been talking for a couple months on making this happen, and like I said, I was like, I want you at the end of the month, but if you can make it tonight, you'd be making my life easier. You made my life easier because barbecue community and good people helping good people, man.
For sure.
Certainly appreciate you coming on, man. And obviously, you're one of the best, raising over $10,000 for your local school last week in some really crazy times, man. Yeah, dude, that's scary. We went through a storm like that a few weeks ago. Where we literally
it's terrifying.
Where you literally watched the whole path of it, and it was at the point where I was texting neighbors like at 12:30, like, I'm sorry to wake you, but get your kids, get their asses downstairs. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
like,
it was
like this. We've been tracking the storm for 5 hours, and it's bad. Like, so
we were for sure about 20 minutes out from the tornado getting to us. And at this point, they were telling you like it's definitely possibly an EF5 biggest tornado. Like, it's literally taking down like the biggest, strongest building. So we were about 20 minutes out, and I told my wife, I said, if they say our town one more time, get in the car. Don't even put Jet in the car seat. We are booking it to Murray, because they were saying it wasn't going to get to Murray. And so I was saying, we're getting in the car and we're going, because we live around, I bet there's 50 acres or more of just flat farmland. Like, I know that my yard is 2 acres, and I'm surrounded by tobacco fields, at least 18 acres. And then in front of me is probably 40 acres. A tornado would have a heyday through here. So,
Yep.
you know, so
we live in the
it was so
valley,
scary.
like in all these hills. If it would like come up our gutter, man, like it would
Yeah.
be bad. But
And our power was out for like 4 days, and so it was a lot. And our 3-year-old, it really did traumatize him. You know, he's too young to really know what happened, but he knew the power went out, and he could sense that, you know, my wife and I were scared. Yeah, he could sense right that we were concerned.
Yeah, I just had that because, like, dude, you were like trying to tell him, like, hey, the TV's out, and we didn't have power for like 2 days. And I remember like trying to convince them, like trying to find entertainment, man. And yeah, they just knew like there was something in the air that was off, and they were just like not dealing with it. But you know what's not off though? What's barbecue, because he's always right on. He's always spot on, especially his ribs, spot on. And my son is not in bed like I thought he was, and he just scared the shit out of me. Good Lord. Dude, this head just popped up here, and that's how I saw him. That was scary. Okay,
yeah, mine's going wild too, especially now that he has a chocolate shake. So
yeah.
But he gets to sleep in tomorrow. I've got to be up at like 6 to put these chickens on, but that's okay.
I got to break down 4 pork butts first thing in the morning, so I feel ya.
Yeah,
and then I gotta make my barbecue beans.
I don't even know if I'm cooking this weekend, man.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to a party on Sunday. I'm going to my sister-in-law's on Monday. So I heard brisket tacos. No one asked me to make the brisket, so I know.
Shit, yeah.
It's going to be golden it's going to be a smooth ride for me this week.
If it's good brisket, man. If there's shit brisket tacos, you're gonna be really mad at yourself for not offering.
Well, see. Yeah. The way I know who's going to end up cooking that brisket, and that dude has a brisket cooking company. So,
okay.
I thought you were going to say, you know who's going to end up cooking it, and it's you, because I cannot tell you how many times I've gone to like my in-laws' house or whatever, and they're like, hey, we're going to grill. And I'm like, oh, sweet. And they're like, hey, will you grill for us? So every time I go, they're like, hey, you'll cook, right? Like, you don't mind to cook. I'm like, no, I don't mind. And I don't mind. So
no, I volunteer because it feels like it's a great value to add to the party. I enjoy cooking. So if I can get some brownie points and do something that I love at the same time, sign me up.
Yeah. See, exactly. I do the same thing for all the reasons you guys said. And this is straight up. And I know this is going to be on the internet forever. So I'm saying it.
What?
I cook better than everybody else.
Nope. He said it.
I said it.
You said you're all second tier.
Not you guys. I mean, like in
my
family.
No. And yours.
I just do. Everybody knows it. So.
Yep. Hey.
Yeah.
All right.
It's all.
I'm not the best. I am not like, oh, Jonesy, this is the best barbecue. But
you kind of did just say that though.
In my circle, this is the best barbecue.
Okay, well, now Jonesy's shitting on all his friends just in time for the holidays, so that just
did.
No. Milton, the sharp line over here, swing liner over here. Oh, hey, wait.
Hey, this brings up a really good, quick question. Did you guys grow up around barbecue?
I grew up with Kingsford burgers.
Yeah.
I am literally the first one in my family that has really dove into the barbecue at all.
Same
here.
Like we grew
not
up
a single person in my family cooks barbecue, knows anything about barbecue. You know, when I grew up, I grew up, I wouldn't say poor, but definitely like McDonald's was like a treat kind of thing.
Yep.
And
Yep.
so if we ever had steak, it was like a real cheap cut of steak, super thin, and cooked on the George Foreman grill inside. Like it was that, you know. And so I didn't grow up around barbecue. You know, so many people ask me that. They're like, where did you learn how to barbecue? And it honestly, I just started to learn about it watching YouTube and, you know, trial and error. And that's one of the biggest reasons I started my YouTube channel was I wanted to give back to that community that taught me how to barbecue. So
Right.
I love doing the YouTube stuff.
No, it's awesome, man. Hey, man, you're doing a hell of a job. Keep it up,
Hell of a
man.
job.
Good luck with the seasonings coming up and the sauce, and I'm sure it's going to keep rocking and rolling and growing. And hey, man, we're proud to have you as part of the Dude Network. We're proud to have you as part of the actual network. You're the man. You're a myth. You're a legend. You're a hell of a dad. You're a hell of a dude. We're happy to have you on here, Dustin. Glad it finally worked out tonight. Johnsy, thanks for stepping up here and being doobie tonight, you know, but you look good too. You look good too. But hey, you guys have a hell of a 4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
You know,
Happy
enjoy that
holidays,
family,
gentlemen.
enjoy the long weekend. And Dustin, thank you again, man.
Hey, thanks so much. Hey, cheers to y'all. And I hope y'all have a great 4th of July weekend. Thanks for having me on. It was super fun. Let's definitely do it again.
Please.
Yeah, we'll structure it out a little bit more next time where you have more than an hour to prepare. Fair?
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely do a little more planning and have some great. I think we should definitely next time hit some gray area barbecue myths.
Yeah.
And talk about that.
We didn't really get to talk. I'm glad that we didn't though, because now we have a good excuse to make this happen sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
If we would have knocked everything out tonight, we would have. I mean, then what are we going to do?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Jet, come here and say what I in my YouTube videos. If you watch, before I take a bite of the meat, I always say, "Hey, cheers to you. Cheers to a good cook. Let's take a bite." And then now Jet loves to walk around and say that too. Jet, can you say that for everybody? Say cheers to you.
Cheers to you. We gotta take it right.
There you go.
There we go.
He loves it. So he'll
yeah.
be a YouTube star. Maybe he'll blow up way more than me, and then I can retire from teaching. How about that?
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to leave a legacy onto my kids. Even if I don't make $1, if they can run with it and make $1, I'm all good. So
that's exactly right. That's what I'm trying to do for my 2 sons. So
hey, tell them.
I don't have a swimming pool.
All right, you're gonna have a swimming pool, maybe one day.
Hey, that's right. Tell him to get on there and say thanks for watching the Dude Network.
Hey, come here, Jet.
Yes.
Let's go. Here we go.
Hey, I want you to tell all the friends. I want you to say thanks for watching the Dude Network.
Thank you, watching Dude Network.
All right, there you go.
Yes.
Clip it.
Good job, Jet.
That was it right there.
Clip
That's it.
I love it.
I love it.
Dustin, you're the man. Hey, thanks you, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks,
Dustin,
guys.
thank you so much.
Wishing well barbecue, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Have a good and safe, happy July 4th or whatever it is. Just enjoy the long weekend. You know, whatever you're doing out there, just be safe. Enjoy it with your loved ones and be safe and eat good and drink a couple brewskis.
Happy birthday, America.
America.
That's right.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right. See you guys. Thank you.
Y'all have a great night. Thanks.